Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's start the daily discussion. The first topic that we take up today is regarding the jurisdiction of Lokpal issue and concern with to devolution of sufficient power to Lokpal to make it more effective. In news, citing jurisdictional limitations, the Indian Lokpal recently declared that it could not take up a plea from the wife of an UP government official who committed suicide. The official claimed that he was under pressure from higher ups to sign completion certificate for projects funded by the central government under the Swadesh Darshan scheme. Okay, Swadesh Darshan scheme, okay, so was launched by central government and run by the state government. And so here the official from UP was under pressure from higher authority to sign the completion report under for which he was under pressure and that led to his suicide. It is allegation by his wife. What position did the Indian Lokpal take? Okay. So limitation of the Lokpal jurisdiction. Lokpal made it clear that it is not able to handle a complaint against the Director General of Tourism, Uttar Pradesh, or the Principal Secretary of Tourism and Culture of the state government. Okay, Lokpal made it clear that it is not able to handle a complaint against the Director General of Tourism UP or the Principal Secretary of Tourism and Culture of the state. The Lokpal is not authorized to take the complaint against them. Since the matter involves alleged criminal activity, the person committed suicide, so if life is a loss of life, so it is a criminal case. So it is within the jurisdiction of the criminal law and procedure, which is why the Lokpal has stated that it is unable to consider the plea. Forwarding the complaint, the Lokpal made progress by forwarding the complaint to the Indian Tourism Secretary for additional investigation despite its jurisdictional limitations. Okay, so the Lokpal has forwarded the case, the complaint to the Union Tourism Secretary for additional investigation to the matter to find the reality. What do Lokpal mean? The Lokpal and Lokaयुक्त Act 2013 established the Lokpal for the Union and Lokaयुक्त for the states. These organizations are statutory body because they are not constitutional body. They are statutory because they were created by the Act of the Parliament. So their status is statutory. So a statute or an act of the Parliament made them or created them. So they are statutory body. They do not have any standing in the constitution because constitution has not made provision for them. So only they are statutory because they have been created by passing a statute or an act in the parliament. Function, their duties include acting as ombudsman and looking into claims of corruption made against specific public officials as well as other related issues. What falls under the Lokpal purview and powers? Regarding Prime Minister and Ministers, the Lokpal has jurisdiction over MP, PM, Ministers, Group A, B, C, D officers as well as central government officials. The Prime Minister was under the Lokpal's jurisdiction with the exception of claims of corruption in the area of public order, atomic energy, international relations, security and space. The Lokpal lack authority over ministers and members of parliament with regard to statement made or votes cast in parliament. In connection with bureaucrats and civil servants, its jurisdiction also extends to anyone currently or previously serving as director, manager, or secretary of any organization established by the Central Government Act So, its jurisdiction also extends to anyone currently or previously serving as the director, manager, or secretary of any organization established by a central act, anybody funded or overseen by the central government, or any individual engaged in the act of aiding and abetting bribery giving or bribery taking. All public officials are required by the law to disclose their personal assets and liabilities as well as those of their dependents. Associated with the Central Investigating Intelligence Agency (CBI), it possesses the authority to oversee and provide guidance to CBI. Investigating officer in a case that Lokpal has referred to the CBI can be moved without Lokpal's consent. What are the concerns regarding the working of Lokpal? Absence of full-time chairperson. Since May 2022, the Lokpal has been operating without a full-time chairperson, which raises questions about its capacity to carry out its mandate. Okay, so this is the reality when the government has not appointed a full-time chairman of the Lokpal. So, failing to take action against corrupt officials, a report submitted to the Parliament in April 2023, the Parliamentary Standing Committee stated that the Lokpal has not persecuted with a single person accused of graft till date. So, not a single complaint. Okay. So, the Department of Personal Training (DOPT) panel received data from the Lokpal office indicating that during 2018-20, 2019-20 fiscal year, anti-corruption body received 8,703 complaints, of which 5,981 were resolved. Nevertheless, questions have been raised regarding the Lokpal's capacity to take action against dishonest officials, given that no one has been prosecuted for corruption despite the volume of complaints received. So, this shows that how titilless the organization is, because when it received 8,700 plus complaints, and after that nearly 5,981 means 6,000 have been resolved. So, but still none has been prosecuted. This proves the lacuna in the system for which no one is able to be prosecuted, or this law or this institution is being misused. Lack of transparency. The Lokpal's lack of accountability and transparency has also drawn criticism from some experts who contend that it compromises the organization's legitimacy and efficacy, because this organization, which was created with much hope, okay, so its mandate have been not being properly utilized. Okay. So, failing to take action against corrupt officials, a report submitted, this is shows lack of transparency. The Lokpal's lack of accountability and transparency has also drawn criticism from some experts who contended that it compromises the organization's legitimacy and efficacy. The way ahead, the Ombudsman's institution, the Lokpal is the Ombudsman, and it has been created in line with the similar institution called Ombudsman present in the Scandinavian country like Norway and Sweden, needs to be strengthened in terms of operational independence and human resources availability in order to combat corruption. So two things so need to be strengthened in terms of operational independence and human resources. Okay, because adequate staffs are not being given and operational independence to some extent is curtailed for it. More openness, increased access to information, and empowerment of individuals and group of citizens are necessary, in addition to capable leadership that is prepared to be held accountable to the general public. The mere appointment of a Lokpal is insufficient. The government will grow in size if investigating agencies are strengthened, but government will not necessarily improve. The government's motto, less government and more governance, ought to be adhered to in letter and spirit. In addition, Lokpal and Lokayak need to be legally, administratively, and financially independent of the people they are asked to look into and bring changes against. Because if the Lokpal or Lokayak so are not made free in influence to the person from on whom they will take up the or against whom they will take the charge, they cannot be made free, and they also cannot bring charges against them. Appointing Lokpal and Lokayuk members must be done in a transparent manner to reduce the possibility of the wrong types of people being appointed. To prevent the concentration of excessive power in one institution or authority, a variety of decentralized institutions with suitable accountability mechanism are required. The next topic is until it ends, it is not over. So those who have been slicing through debates on world power politics have been drawing net conclusions about how the war between Russia and Ukraine will end. The conflict has lasted for almost 2 years and there is no indication that it will end anytime soon. The conflict began Russia and Ukraine is now a propaganda war. Propagandists from the West are going all out, calling Russia's dismissed power with an imminent defeat, a stubble job at China, which is defying US dominance in the world. Putin's appeal to China and North Korea for assistance, coupled with his threat to use nuclear weapon, demonstrates the depth of Russia's downfall because so Russia has started appealing to China, North Korea, etc. for help to fight against Ukraine. Okay, so this shows that Russia became weak from inside. The graph fits on the worst effects on Russia. The brightest and best have left. Trade restrictions and sanctions have weakened its economy, particularly the earning from energy exports. The departure of multinational corporations is endangering the nation's high-tech industries. It is anticipated that the economy will not expand in the near future. It will only be able to depend on extraction of resources. Russia's political climate has become more closed off to dissent and oppressive. Fewer nations are supporting Russia in the diplomatic struggle. Not even its allies in Central Asia have endorsed Moscow's policy. Putin was forced to miss a number of important international gatherings, such as the G20 summit, the BRICS summits, etc., because Russia is on war. So the leader is not at all may face universal media criticism, so is not attending these summits. On the other hand, Finland and Sweden are about to join NATO and Ukraine is about to join European Union. So all these are the developments. The situation of Ukraine resistance and those who back it. Whether Ukraine can endure the test of time in light of the US mounting war fatigue. So 113 billion since 2014 and the Republicans' current opposition for additional 24 billion in military aid to Ukraine. So how long will Ukraine last or endure is a big question. While the war has undoubtedly brought Europe together, European Union faces a number of challenges in the form of the Franco-German divide as it hopes to use Ukraine to spark a new Europe integration and enlargement to transform Europe into a geopolitical force. France is apprehensive about EU expansion and Germany is hesitant to arm Ukraine. Additionally, the bloc might eventually lose patience and turn to political expediency to put an end to the conflict. Okay, the situation of the Ukrainian resistance and those who back it. The ground is already moving in some noticeable ways. Poland, the closest ally of Ukraine, and a country that currently houses 2.6 million Ukrainian refugees, is reconsidering stop supplying arms to Ukraine. The first country to renounce its neutrality, Finland, appears to be hesitating in response to Moscow's gas supply halt, which could raise living expenses throughout the Nordic region. Already, the Volodymyr Zelensky, or the president of Ukraine, is being forced to advocate for a global peace summit in February of next year out of concern that the Gaza war will divert attention from Ukraine because the war between Israel and Palestine over Gaza may divert the global attention from Ukraine and the support that Ukraine is getting is not may not be forthcoming in future. Until mid-December, the EU has requested that Kyiv comply with its requirement, timing minority laws and fighting corruption before initiating membership negotiations for European Union. The opposing viewpoint, Russia is genuinely winning the conflict. The fact that Putin has finally called NATO's bluff has placed those who dislike the West. Russia may acquire additional territory if the conflict continues, as it currently controls a sizable portion of the Donbass and the Donetsk. It is unlikely that Russia will give up those territory, regardless of what happens on the battlefield. This will make it harder for Ukraine to negotiate a peace agreement in future because these two regions are right now under Russian control. This entails a protracted state of frozen conflict, an arms race, and increased defense expenditures, all of which will fall on the rest of Europe. As Russian power suffered irreversible damage, even a weakened Russia will remain crucial to European security regardless of how the war turns out. If Putin is able to overcome Ukraine's resistance, Europe will face more difficulties. Rebuilding Ukraine itself would require consistent energy supply from Russia. With its sizable nuclear arsenal and disruptive technologies, Russia will continue to be a potent military force that can tip the strategic balance in the world. Actually, the Russian military may have learned how to handle NATO's weapons from this year. The strategic culture of Russia and its long-standing tradition of perceiving threats in relation to other countries are not to be taken lightly. Actually, if the West had not disregarded Moscow's repeated warning against NATO expansion, things might not have reached this point because I'm reading it again. If the West had not disregarded Moscow's repeated warning against NATO's expansion, so Moscow has issued repeated warning to the Western countries against the expansion of NATO because this has not been accepted. This led to this situation because Ukraine decided to join NATO. This led to the war. Things might not reach this point. Therefore, the assumption that Russia is permanently weakened is premature also. Russia is demonstrating its power in new ways. Although the Russian economy is currently in decline, it has also demonstrated resilience due to its increasing market share in the energy sector. Historic shift in the balance of power in the world has occurred as a result of Moscow's sharp reorientation of its economy and foreign policy towards China, the Middle East, India, and Africa. Because with these countries, Russia has started developing close relationship, and especially in the energy domain. The future for Russia will remain strategically bound to Europe in the coming years, but the extent to which it asserts its influence rely on how broadly the US defines its interest around the world. Because as the US will try to expand, so also Russia will also try to expand its influence around the world. Already it is reclaiming its global soil, particularly in the Middle East. Apart from what happened to Ukraine, the Gaza conflict will influence Russia's foreign policy going forward. Although Moscow is aware that the partnership matrix is unbalanced and favor Beijing, it has nevertheless made some tentative moves to strengthen ties with Beijing. So, in conclusion, while observers and analysts tend to quickly reject Russia based on Western conclusions and criticize Putin for this war of choice, India's official Russia policy is still firmly rooted in reality. So, Russia is more realistic than on ideology. So, it would be too soon to write off Russia's possibilities because Russia is very strong and it can withstand its resilience power. The Global Talent Competitive Index. The Global Talent Competitive Index has been seen India fall sharply from rank 83 10 years ago to rank 103 in its latest report out recently. What Global Talent Competitiveness Index? It measures how country grow, attract and retain talent. Then annual benchmarking report published by the prestigious chain of business schools INSEAD. It provides a unique resource for decision makers to understand the global talent competitiveness picture and develop strategy to boost their economies. The index uses two sub-indices, input and output. The input measures regulatory and business environment as well as steps being taken to foster talent and retain it. The output side evaluates the quality of talent. Highlight of the GTCI 2023. The 10th edition of the report covers 134 countries around the world across all income groups. Singapore, Switzerland, and United States among the top three countries on the index. India is ranked 103, the most among the BRICS countries. China remains at the top of the BRICS groups of countries at rank 40. Russia is at 52, South Africa at 16, Brazil ranked at 69, but India is far behind at 103. Other countries rank better than India. Rwanda, the country which is in much disorder, Paraguay, Tunisia, Namibia, Bolivia, Ghana, El Salvador, Gambia, Kenya, Morocco, and Eswatini. So all these African countries, most of them are much economically poor, so much less of development. But in the talent hunt, so they are much advanced than India. Then the next topic is the new Pamban Bridge. The new Pamban Bridge is likely to be inaugurated by Prime Minister in a few months' time. Okay, so it is India's first vertical lift railway bridge. It replaced the iconic Pamban Bridge, India's first bridge, which opened in 1938. The new bridge is being built parallel to the old Pamban Bridge by Rail Vikas Nigam Limited. The total length of the bridge is 2.078 km. It will have 69 spans with 18.3-meter long girders. The navigational span will be 53 meters. It connects Rameswaram on Pamban Island to Mandapam on the mainland in Tamil Nadu. The most unique feature of the new Pamban Bridge is its vertical lift facility. It will help boats pass under the bridge smoothly. The vertical lift span will have electromechanical control interlock with a train control system. To allow for shipping traffic to pass under the vertical lift section of the bridge, rail traffic could be stopped. The navigational span could move off vertically to create enough height for boats to pass. While the new Pamban bridge is 3 meters higher than the old bridge, it also have a navigational air clearance of 22 meters above mean sea level. It has been designed for double railway line and future electrification as well, because this is being built right now. So the future is taking definitely consideration like electrification. So height of the line, okay. So double line for the railway movement. So all these have been kept in the project, the new Pamban Bridge, which was not in the old one. Then worldwide governance indicators. Recently, the Chief Economic Advisor of India raised concern about the use of World Bank's worldwide governance indicator in rating assessment by credit rating agencies, especially in emerging economies. The World Bank compiles the worldwide governance indicators using data from more than 30 think tanks, international organizations, non-governmental organizations, and private firms deemed credible. The World Governance Indicator were developed in 1999 by two World Bank researchers, Daniel Cookman and Arak Terry. The data are updated annually in September. It is released by the World Bank. It provides a ranking of 215 countries, territories. So the worldwide governance indicators, it is based on six dimensions of governance. One is voice and accountability. So how the public voice is responded, how the government is accountable. Political stability and absence of violence. So how the government or the ruling party is bringing political stability to the country, and how there is no violence in the country. Government effectiveness, how effective the government is in formulating policy, in implementing policy, and in resolving the grievances of the people, regulators' quality, the rule of law, and control of corruption. These indicators are designed to help researchers and analysts assess broad patterns in perception of governance across country and over the time. Okay, so these new indicators, these six indicators, is ranking country on the parameters. So next, the Leonard Meteor, many sky watchers in India and around the globe are poised for a cosmic treat. The Leonid Meteor Shower, which is already underway since November 6th, is set to reach its peak in the pre-dawn hours of November 17 to 18, 2023. It is brought about by the dust and debris abandoned by the comet turtle. It is commonly peaking in mid-November. This temple turtle comet circles the sun at regular interval of 33 years. When the comet passes near the sun, it warms up and delivers a ton of materials, shaping a dense cloud of dust and gas around it. This could follow the comet's circle and fans out over the long run. The soil is called after the Leo constellation from which the meteors appears to radiate. The Earth every year crosses the orbit of Temple Turtle in mid-November, and in some cases experiences the comet's dust cloud. When this occurs, dust particles enter the Earth's atmosphere at high speed around 70 km per hour and catch fire, creating bright streaks of light in the sky. These are what we see the meteors, the Leonid meteors here. The Leonid are noted for sometimes causing meteor storms described by high influx of meteors. Okay, so this event is regular in November because of this particular time when Earth passes through this meteor. Then the Istanbul Cooperation Initiative (ICI), Istanbul in Turkey. The Istanbul Cooperation Initiative is a partnership forum that aims to contribute to long-term global and regional security by offering non-NATO countries in the border Middle East region the opportunity to cooperate with NATO. Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, United Arab Emirates currently participate in the initiative. The Istanbul Cooperation Initiative was established at 2004 NATO summit in Istanbul to promote security cooperation on a bilateral basis between NATO and partner countries in the broad border Middle East region. So NATO is a American-led military alliance and its partner countries. Okay, currently four countries participating in the Gulf Cooperation Council, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and UAE, have joined the initiative, while Oman and Saudi Arabia participate in selected activity within the ICI framework. ICI stands for Istanbul Cooperation Initiative. The initial consultations were held with members of the Gulf Cooperation Council, but the initiative is open to all interested countries in the Middle East that support the objective and principle of the Istanbul Cooperation Initiative. Activities under the initiative range from defense planning and defense budgeting to the fight against terrorism, the non-proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, and civil preparedness. The initiative is based on a foundation of six core principles: non-discrimination, self-differentiation, two-way engagement, non-imposition, diversity, and complementarity to other international initiatives in the region. So see, these are the parameters. What are the parameters? Read it again. Those six core principles: non-discrimination, self-differentiation, two-way engagement, non-imposition, diversity, and complementarity to other international initiatives in the region. Then coming to the question, Istanbul analyzed the effects of moral behavior on accountability and public trust. Give appropriate instance to back up your claims. Public trust refers to the public's belief in the honesty, skill, and responsiveness of public officials and organizations. Ethical conduct is defined as behavior that complies with the moral standards and ideals of profession or community. Accountability is the duty placed on public officials and institutions to take responsibility for their decisions and act to be open to inspection, review, and if required, punishment. The effect of public trust on ethical behavior: enhancing transparency. Transparency is cultivated by ethical behavior, giving the public confidence that decisions are made justly and fairly. Encouraging responsibility because they are more inclined to take responsibility for their actions. Ethical administrators promote responsible administration and reduce corruption. Increasing participation of citizens. Citizens' confidence is bolstered by ethical behavior, which promotes their active involvement in the political process. Then enhance efficiency by encouraging that public institutions and officials are sensitive to the needs and expectations of the public and use resources in an efficient and equitable manner. Ethical conduct can enhance the quality and effectiveness of public services, policy, and programs. Samples showing impact and difficulties of ethics, whistleblowers protection, striking a balance between the obligations to disclose misconduct and risk to one's personal safety and career, procurement and contracting, upholding efficiency and cost effectiveness while rejecting bribery or partiality in contract awarding, environmental protection, maintaining moral principles in the formulation of public policy even when doing so for the financial ramifications, including the public in the process of allocating public monies, regional properties, priorities, or projects is known as participatory budgeting. Conclusion. So, in the conclusion, public policy and institutions should support and encourage moral behavior by adhering to explicit codes of conduct, offering advice and training, guaranteeing involvement and consultation, setting up procedures for filing complaints and handling them, and cultivating a moral and responsible culture. So these are expected from public officials and institutions because so they are called public because they work for the public and they should be responsible, responsive. So to make the system work for the benefit of the public. Okay. Then come to the MCQs. Global Talent Competitive Index that measures how countries grow, attract and retain talent. What is report is published by which of the following organization? That is published by the INSCAD school. Okay. B. Consider the following statement about the new Pamban Bridge. It is India's first vertical lift railway sea bridge. That's right. Okay. So it connects Rameswaram on Pamban Island to Mandapam on the Tamil mainland in Tamil Nadu. So here both the statements are correct, both 1 and 2. That's the following statement about the worldwide governance indicators. The worldwide governance indicator is developed in 1919 by the two Daniel Krugman and the Sudh Ajay. So it is it is an art carry, not Sudaja. So first one is wrong. Released by the United Nations Development Program. So released by the World Bank, not by UNDP. Control of corruption and political stability and absence of violence are among the six dimensions of the governance considered in the WGI, World Governance Indicator. This option only one is correct. So that is so in this only one, that the three option three is only correct, one and two are incorrect. So consider the following statement about the Leonid meteorsphere. It is brought about by the dust and debris abandoned by the Halley's comet. So that is wrong. The soil is called after the Leo constellation from which the meteors appears to radiate. So only two is correct. That means one. So option one is incorrect. So only one is correct. So with reference to the Istanbul Cooperative Initiative, consider the following statement. The Istanbul Cooperative Initiative fosters global regional security by providing non-NATO country in the broader Middle East the chance to collaborate with NATO, right? India, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, and United Arab Emirates currently participate. No, India is not participating. So two is incorrect. Only one is correct. Right. So Boyapa is a traditional headgear of tribe belonging to. So they are owned by the tribal belong to Arunachal Pradesh. Fine. Tides occur in the ocean and sea due to which of the following: gravitational force of the sun, right? Gravitational force of the moon, right? Centrifugal force of the moon of the earth. So that is wrong. Only one and two are correct. Then from which year Gandhi Peace Prize given by the government of India? Gandhi Peace Prize being given from 1995. So D is the right option. Global hectare is a measurement of ecological footprint. So it is B is the right answer. If Earth stops rotating, the impact of on weight of the body will minimum on which among the following places? It will minimum in the North Pole.